So I'm Matthew Edwards, the founder of Mars Digital. We're a full service digital agency that I started back in 2018 after close to about a decade of experience in the industry. Um, at at Mars Digital, we we create solutions for our clients. So we do this using the power of technology and the internet, whether that's building new websites that are mobile friendly and are able to be used across a variety of different devices and screen sizes, or digital marketing. So services like search engine optimization, social media marketing, and Google Ads. We also take care of our clients' hosting, website security, backups, and maintenance side of things as well. So that's why I kind of say we're a full service agency. So we also don't restrict ourselves to any one particular niche. We have clients from small one-man band businesses all the way up to larger national and more international companies with sort of 50 plus employees. And the work that they do varies greatly as well. Here's a few sort of indications or different types of businesses that we work with. So you got consultancies, finance and insurance, importer distributors, e-commerce, medical services, real estate, legal, both B2B and B2C businesses. You got construction and trades, interior design, charities and nonprofit, and automotive. So who are some of these clients? There's a few logos there that some of you might recognize. There's a few local businesses here, as well as a more well-known brand, and right in the middle is the logo for Zachmea, which you might recognize from Angela's RedSpark presentation the other week. The next three slides, I will show you some screenshots of work that we've done, specifically 3 websites that we've built for clients that are on this slide here. So the first one on the left, you'll see the previous website for Wayne Bowden Painters, and on the right is the website we designed and developed for them. Well, Wayne Bowden Painters are a high-end residential and commercial painting company. So the goal was to create a site that reflected the overall quality of their work. You might notice that there's still some similarities between the general layout. Like you've got obviously the header at the top with the banner, and then it focuses down into the individual services that they offer. But what we've done is we've kind of cleaned up all the information and the whole design, and put more of an emphasis on promoting the brand and the overall user experience. So you've got the headings, for example, behind it in the Our Services section. You can see there's the little paint smear which is behind it. It's the same for at the top in the menu. Behind the active page that you're on, there's the little paint smear as well. And then things like make in the header, and that the slider there, it's just emphasizing and directing people to show them exactly what they do a lot quicker. So in this case, the screenshot's got one of the slides that is designed more to homeowners. The next example is Trident Electrical. So this is this originally on the left was a self-built single-page Wix website. By the time we had a chat with them, they'd fully outgrown their old site and wanted something more professional. And on the right is what we built for them. So the whole idea was to modernize it, give it a bit more of a unique flair, and basically update the whole web presence entirely. So it's a little hard to see, but at the very top here, for example, with the again with the navigation menu, we've added a little lightning bolt next to the active page, as well as use the blue color in their brand to kind of give it that extra oomph. And you've got little accents like the about here behind the about color and the lightning bolt behind the services as well. So we also expanded their website across multiple pages rather than just the one. So you've got individual pages for the different services they offer, and created a project section as well, so they can show off the type of work they do, because they're not just your household electrician. They do focus more on that industrial side. So they need to showcase the work that they're able to do for their clients. And this is able to do that for them. But part of expanding that out, we also wrote a whole lot of new content for them and expanded on what they had. So we wrote up, I think it was 5 or 6 new pages and a couple of projects to help flesh out the services, so that when people do go onto the website, it doesn't seem empty. And the final example I wanted to show you is actually an e-commerce website. So again, the screenshot of the left was actually their entire homepage for the old website. And as you can see, it doesn't really follow their brand colors. You've got gray and red as part of their logo, but then this washed out blue is kind of everywhere on the website, which made no sense. It's also not exactly visually appealing or easy to navigate or use, and doesn't entice people to go through and actually look at the products and purchase. They are focused on B2B, so there is that side of it, but on the right is what we've put together for them and built. So you can see the overall website is now following their brand color, that red and the gray, but it uses a change in color and size of text to sort of draw your attention to specific spots on the page, as well as direct people through the website to where we want them to go. So this website is actually still technically in development. It's been approved and the go live date is imminent. We're just waiting on one small thing, and then they'll get to see the benefit from it going live. So what does all this mean for our clients? Well, the next couple of slides are going to show you what happens after the website goes live and when we start the marketing. So basically, we're looking at things like Google Ads, search engine optimization, and social media marketing. But any names and URLs have actually been removed from these screenshots, so you don't know who they relate to, as it is confidential information, knowing exactly what a client's spending on various things. So this one here, this is actually a client who we provided training to. So this is for their Google Ads, and I did a 2-hour training session with their marketing team of 1, where we went through their Google Ads account and I showed her how to optimize, edit, and maintain the account properly. Basically what to look for, what adjustments to make, and when to make them. And we catch up for an hour each month just to go over suggestions and continually improve those results. But ultimately, she's doing it herself, and we're just acting as basically a consultant and training for her so that she can get the most out of her time on it. But in the since the original training, which has been basically less than 2 months, we've already seen a drastic improvement in her ad performance. So their average cost per click, which is this top left one there, that has dropped to less than half. So it's now 51 cents per click, or effectively it costs them on average 51 cents every time someone clicks on one of their ads and goes to their website. That is less than half of what it used to be. The overall clicks, on the other hand, have almost doubled. But then we can see that they're also getting in front of, well, in the last month, they got in front of 65,667 potential searches or potential clicks, which again went up 236% from before, from each month before we did the training. And the overall cost itself the spend on Google AdWords has decreased by 39%. So they're getting in front of more people are clicking their ads, and it's costing them less, significantly less, and double the amount of, or almost double the amount of people coming through. But you can see there the big one, that bottom left option, that's the conversions. So we're now tracking conversions properly, and you can see that's increased by 393% as well. So they're going to the right pages and they're getting the right information for what they're searching. And that means that they're basically everything's gone well. They've reduced the cost per click, they've increased the amount of people coming through, and increased the amount of paying customers. So the fact that this is just training is kind of an indication of how much we can turn around a business pretty quickly and with their Google ads, because people don't know how to optimize them if they've never done it before, but we do. This next one here, this slide shows a client's Google rankings. So we took over their SEO in September last year and officially started in October. In the 5 months since we've had them on board as a client, we've increased their Google rankings by 498 places. Most of those keywords, or most of the keywords that we track, are now on the first page of Google. There's a few that aren't, obviously, and we're working on those ones continuously. But this means that they're now showing on more results, or 4 more search results, and it's all bringing more traffic into their website. And unlike Google Ads, they don't pay per click for these as well. So this increase of 498 places has actually resulted in it was just shy of 1,000 people, additional people last month compared to September. So they've had a huge number of people coming through to the website without having to pay for those Google ads, which they are doing as well, by the way. And then the last example is a bunch of statistics taken from Google Analytics that are for a website which we launched in January. So when we built this website for the client, we used heat mapping to guide the process. So with a heat map, we're able to see how customers interact with the website, where they click, and what they do on a page, and basically work out what it is that they want out of a particular website or a particular page. So we collected all this information, analyzed it, and came up with the design and the structure of that site to drive people to the right place, so that when they click on a page or when they go through to a certain section, it's what they expect and what they want to see there. And when we launched the site in January, so it's been 2 months, and basically all that analysis, along with the SEO that we've done, has left us with basically not only an increase in visitors, but you can see there's been an increase in the number or the percentage of returning visitors. The overall page views have basically gone from 991 per month to almost 1,800. The average pages per session has gone up 217%, so just shy of 5 pages are being viewed on average by per person, as opposed to 1.5 pages. And we've tripled the average duration that they're spending on the website as well. So that's gone up to 3 minutes from 1 minute. And the overall bounce rate. So a bounce rate it's when a visitor goes to a website and leaves without performing an action, or within such a short time frame that it's seen as they're not interested. So in this case, we were able to reduce the bounce rate from 74% down to just over 8%, because of the heat mapping that we used during our build process. So people are now going to that website and they're seeing the information they expected, and not going, this isn't for me, backing off and going to the next Google search result. So to put this in a retail store context, imagine as a retail store owner, you have 100 people walk by your shop and look in your store window. Out of 100 of those, 75 of them kept walking, and only 26 came in the store to browse. From those 26 potential customers, each spent about a minute and looked at an average of 1.5 products in the shop. But the next day you rearranged your store and another 100 people walk by, look in the window, but this time 92 of them decided to walk in, and they each spent 5 minutes they each looked at 5 different items or 5 different products and spent 3 minutes as opposed to 1. So how would this affect the business? I mean, this obviously isn't people purchasing, as this is a service business, so they need to have contact. People need to submit a contact form. But imagine going from 26 people walking into a shop to 92 and tripling the amount of time and almost tripling the amount of products that they look at, or tripling the amount of products that they look at in the store. So that's exactly what we do at Mars Digital. We create solutions using the power of the internet and build websites that are designed to sell.
That's amazing, Matt. Do you mind turning off your screen share for a second?
Done.
Matt, that was mind-blowing and fantastic. My favorite design was that shield it. That transformation was next level, and I loved your analogy to walking into a shop. That was fantastic. Well done.
Thank you.
Very, very good. Garth, I love the transformation while we were on on the presentation for Matt. Does anybody have any questions for Matt? Kayleen.
Question, Matt. You know, obviously, I know you're a fan of having regular content posted onto websites, which, you know, it just generates, with the right keywords, it generates, you know, more and more traffic, because Google likes to see fresh content continually being added, which shows that a website is actually really functional and working. In terms of just the basic articles, do you have people that go through those? Do you do it yourself, or do you have people that you work with who actually optimize them in terms of putting the keywords before they get loaded, that sort of thing?
So SEO is mostly my background. So I'll do a lot of that. The content writing itself, I don't do, but looking over content and modifying it specifically for SEO and keywords, looking at header tags and that sort of thing. Yes, that's what I would do personally.
Cool.
Kayleen, you had a
Yeah. Matt, so if we can go, great analogy as well, by the way. Going back to the Google ads, so you said that 51 cents per click and they had 1,621 clicks. So that was an investment of $3,000 for that month. Is that correct?
So sorry, I'll just go back to that slide.
No, not $3,000, 700 and something. Is that right?
Yeah, so they sorry, bit more context for that one. There are a couple of different campaigns, including a Google Shopping campaign. So the Google Shopping campaign clicks aren't showing in that particular part there. That's just for the search ads, but the overall cost does include it, if that makes sense.
No.
Okay.
So what was the investment that they had for that, for the 1,600 clicks? How much would that have converted to in dollars?
So that, sorry, 1 second. I'll bring it up. I can't show you, but I will bring up the.
Because a lot of people who do what you do don't get these sorts of results, right? Or
Correct.
From what I hear from people, yeah. So you must be pretty good.
the best.
So on. Yeah, actually, no, that has filtered out. So it is 826.77.
Was there financial investment?
what was financial investment for those ads, but the overall financial investment, including Google Shopping, which is still technically a Google ad, but a different type of Google ad. That one was 1,317 and 52 cents.
Okay, and what is the definition of a conversion for a Google ad?
This depends on the client. So in Google Analytics, you create different conversion goals, and they can be, by default, there are things in there like a client has viewed 3 pages or a visitor has viewed 3 pages. That's not really a conversion unless you're an information website. A conversion is something like, for me, it's going to be unique to every client, but for me personally, for example, it would be someone who has clicked on a button like, I want to download the free SEO audit from the website. It would be something like they have filled out the contact form. For an e-commerce website, it would be they've actually physically made a purchase, or they've filled out the form and said, I want to be added to your email newsletter. The individual conversions, when you go into those though, you're obviously going to give priority to some. Like if you're an e-commerce site, an actual purchase is going to be worth more than someone signing up to the newsletter. And that's where in Google Analytics, you can actually set values for conversions. So you can say a email newsletter sign up is worth $1, whereas a purchase is worth the actual dollar amount of that purchase, which, you know, it could be $100 or $500 or whatever it may be. And that way you can say, okay, the conversions from these ads are worth this much to me, or drill down and say we've converted X number of dollars in actual sales and 50 people are signed up to the newsletter.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's just an overview.
Fantastic, Matt. Does anybody else have any questions?